Hey everyone, let me tell you something. We've got a problem today, a big one. And it's hiding behind a smile, a favor, or a quick compliment. It's called being nice. But let's get one thing straight: being nice isn't the same as being real. It's not the same as being honest, being kind, or being respectful. Being nice, that's easy. That's surface level. That's saying what you think people want to hear instead of what they need to hear. We live in a world where being nice is often celebrated as a virtue, but let's pause for a moment and really examine what that means. At its core, being nice can be a positive thing. It suggests friendliness, warmth, and an ability to interact harmoniously with others. But too often, being nice is little more than a superficial or performative act. It's not about genuine care or respect. It's about maintaining appearances, avoiding discomfort, and sidestepping the deeper realities of human connection. This is where the problem begins. When someone is nice, they may offer compliments, open doors, or nod along in agreement. On the surface, these actions seem kind and considerate, but the question we need to ask is what's driving them. Are they coming from a place of authenticity, or are they driven by a desire to be liked, to avoid conflict, or to project an image of politeness? More often than not, it's the latter. And that's where the issue arises. Niceness, when it's detached from sincerity, becomes hollow. It lacks depth. It becomes a tool to navigate social situations without actually engaging in the complexities of human relationships. Take, for example, the common scenario where someone agrees with everything another person says just to avoid confrontation. On the surface, it looks like they're being agreeable and kind, but in reality, they're withholding their true thoughts and feelings. They're not showing respect for the other person's ability to handle a differing perspective. They're not contributing to meaningful dialogue or mutual growth. What they're doing is creating a facade, a pleasant exterior that masks a lack of trust and authenticity. This performative niceness is particularly problematic when it's directed toward women. Too often, men are taught to be nice to women in ways that reduce them to recipients of empty gestures rather than equal participants in a relationship or conversation. It's the kind of niceness that holds doors open but avoids difficult conversations. It's the niceness that flatters but doesn't listen. It's the niceness that offers smiles and compliments but fails to engage in real, meaningful respect. The danger here is that niceness without authenticity can be disempowering. It can create a dynamic where women are treated as if they need to be shielded from honesty, criticism, or accountability. This is not respect, it's patronizing. Genuine respect involves recognizing someone's strength, intelligence, and worth. It's about engaging with them as equals, even when that means being honest, having tough conversations, or challenging each other to grow. At its worst, performative niceness can be a way of avoiding responsibility. It allows people to feel good about themselves without actually investing in the well-being of others. It becomes an excuse to avoid the hard work of building real, meaningful connections. Niceness can smooth over conflict in the moment, but it doesn't solve problems. It doesn't build trust. It doesn't create lasting relationships based on mutual understanding and respect. The truth is, people, women included, don't need niceness. They need authenticity. They need honesty. They need to know that the person in front of them is real, not just performing a role. It's time to move beyond the surface and embrace the deeper, harder work of genuine human connection. There's a widespread misconception that being nice is the same as being kind, respectful, or real. On the surface, the words may seem interchangeable, but they couldn't be more different. This confusion often leads to distorted behaviors that prioritize appearance over substance, leaving relationships and interactions shallow and unfulfilling. It's crucial to understand the distinction because while kindness, respect, and authenticity build genuine connections, niceness is often little more than a veneer that masks deeper truths. Niceness is performative. It's what people do when they want to be liked or avoid conflict. It's the compliment that's given not because it's earned, but because it's expected. It's the agreeable nod during a conversation, even when the person doesn't actually agree. Niceness is about creating a temporary sense of harmony, but it's often insincere. People might act nice to avoid uncomfortable situations, sidestep accountability, or maintain their image. It's not rooted in a desire to help, uplift, or connect. It's rooted in self-preservation or social convenience. Kindness, on the other hand, is an entirely different concept. Kindness is about genuine care and concern for another person's well-being. It's rooted in empathy and compassion. A kind person doesn't just do what's easy or expected, they do what's right, even if it's uncomfortable. Kindness isn't about making someone feel good in the moment, it's about contributing positively to their life in a meaningful way. For instance, kindness might mean offering constructive feedback instead of empty praise, even if it's a harder conversation to have. Kindness is action-driven and sincere, whereas niceness is often passive and shallow. Respect takes this even further. Respect is about recognizing someone's inherent worth and treating them accordingly. It's about seeing them as an equal, as someone who deserves honesty, accountability, and fairness. Respect doesn't sugarcoat the truth or avoid difficult conversations. It challenges and engages with the other person because it values their capacity for growth and understanding. A respectful person doesn't simply go along with whatever someone says, or does. They're willing to stand their ground when necessary, not out of opposition, but out of care for the other person's best interests. Being real, being authentic is what ties it all together. Authenticity means showing up as your true self, not hiding behind a mask of politeness or a desire to please. It's about aligning your actions with your values and speaking the truth, even when it's hard. Authentic people don't feel the need to perform or pretend. They interact with honesty and integrity. This creates deeper, more meaningful connections because it builds trust. The confusion between being nice and these other qualities often leads people to choose the easier, less authentic path. They believe that niceness will suffice because it avoids confrontation and makes them appear likable. But this is a short-term solution that ultimately erodes relationships. Being kind, respectful, and real requires more effort, but it's what truly strengthens bonds. It's time to stop conflating niceness with these deeper virtues and start striving for authenticity and integrity in every interaction. Women, like all people, deserve more than hollow gestures. They deserve genuine care, honesty, and integrity. Yet too often, society teaches us to focus on performative actions, gestures that look good on the surface, but lack real substance. These actions may create a fleeting sense of positivity, but they fail to address the deeper need for meaningful connection and mutual respect. It's time to shift our mindset from simply acting nice to actually being authentic and intentional in how we treat one another. Performative actions are easy. They're the quick fixes of social interactions. Holding a door open, offering a compliment, or saying something agreeable are all fine in and of themselves, but they often lack any real depth. These actions, while polite, don't necessarily reflect genuine care. They don't involve truly seeing the person in front of you as a whole, complex individual. Instead, they're often used as a way to check a box, to fulfill an obligation, or to maintain a facade-ness. True value comes from engaging with people in a way that goes beyond the surface. It means taking the time to understand their needs, listening to their perspectives, and responding with sincerity. It means being honest even when it's difficult, because you respect them enough to tell the truth. It's about showing up with integrity, ensuring that your actions align with your intentions. Women, like anyone else, don't benefit from empty gestures that are designed to avoid discomfort or make the giver feel better. What they deserve is authenticity and effort. Honesty is a critical component of this. Being honest doesn't mean being harsh or unkind, it means being real. It's about expressing your thoughts and feelings in a way that fosters trust and understanding. Too often, people avoid honesty because they fear conflict or rejection, but in doing so, they deprive the other person of the chance to truly connect. When you are honest, you're saying, "I respect you enough to be real with you." That's a far more valuable message than any superficial act of niceness. Integrity takes this a step further. It's about ensuring that your words and actions are consistent. It means doing what's right, even when no one is watching, and treating everyone with the dignity they deserve. Integrity is not about grand gestures, it's about the small, everyday choices that reflect your character. When you treat someone with integrity, you're showing them that they matter not just in a fleeting moment, but in a meaningful and lasting way. Women deserve relationships and interactions built on these principles, not performances. When you replace performative niceness with genuine care, you open the door to deeper connections. You create an environment where trust, respect, and growth can flourish. This shift benefits everyone involved because it moves interactions from the shallow to the substantial. It's not about doing what looks good, it's about doing what's real and right. Women, like all people, deserve nothing less than that. Accountability is one of the most profound ways to show care and respect, yet it is often misunderstood or avoided. Holding someone accountable doesn't mean criticizing or controlling them. It means believing in their potential and treating them as capable, intelligent individuals who deserve honesty and truth. When we hold women and everyone to a standard of truth and respect, we are saying, I see your worth, and I want to engage with you in a way that reflects that this isn't always easy, but it's essential for meaningful relationships and personal growth. Accountability starts with the recognition that truth is an act of care. Avoiding honesty or difficult conversations because you want to be nice or avoid conflict does a disservice to the person you're engaging with. It says, I'd rather keep things comfortable than help you grow or understand something important. On the other hand, accountability says, I respect you enough to have this conversation, even if it's uncomfortable. It shows that you care about someone's development, their choices, and the way they navigate the world. When you hold someone accountable, you're not just pointing out what's wrong, you're also affirming their ability to do better. You're recognizing that they have the capacity to rise to a higher standard. This is especially important in relationships where mutual respect and trust are built on the foundation of shared responsibility. Accountability isn't about blame, it's about creating an environment where people can reflect, grow, and improve. It's about showing up with integrity and encouraging others to do the same. For women, being held to a standard of truth and respect is vital because it breaks down the stereotypes and patronizing attitudes that often accompany performative niceness. Too often, women are treated as if they need to be shielded from the truth or as if they can't handle honest feedback. This isn't respect, it's condescension. Real respect means treating women as equals, capable of facing challenges, hearing hard truths, and engaging in meaningful dialogue. It means believing in their strength and intelligence enough to hold them accountable when necessary. Accountability also fosters trust. When someone knows you'll be honest with them and hold them to the same standards you hold yourself, they know they can rely on you. They know you're not just telling them what they want to hear, but what they need to hear. This trust deepens relationships and creates a foundation for mutual growth and understanding. It allows people to feel valued for who they are, not just for how they make others feel. True care isn't about avoiding discomfort or sugarcoating reality. It's about engaging with people in a way that honors their potential and respects their ability to grow. Holding women and everyone to a standard of truth and respect isn't about being critical or harsh. It's about showing that you value them enough to be real. It's about creating a space where both parties can thrive, rooted in mutual care, honesty, and accountability. That's what real respect looks like. Respectful dialogue is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. When you treat women as equals, you open the door to deeper understanding, mutual growth, and stronger connections. Equality in communication doesn't just benefit one person, it elevates everyone involved, fostering an environment where both parties feel valued, heard, and respected. It's about moving beyond superficial interactions and engaging in conversations that challenge, uplift, and inspire growth. At the heart of respectful dialogue is the recognition that every person, regardless of gender, has something valuable to contribute. Treating women as equals means listening to their perspectives with the same attentiveness and seriousness you would give anyone else. It's about creating a space where their ideas, experiences, and feelings are not only acknowledged but truly considered. When you approach a conversation this way, you demonstrate respect for their intelligence and individuality. This not only builds trust, but also allows for the kind of honest, open exchange that deepens understanding on both sides. Mutual growth thrives in this kind of environment. When you treat someone as an equal, you're not just sharing your own knowledge or perspective, you're also learning from theirs. Every person brings a unique set of experiences, insights, and ideas to the table, and when those are shared in a respectful dialogue, both parties gain something valuable. You learn to see the world through someone else's eyes, which broadens your understanding and challenges your assumptions. This exchange fosters personal growth, helping both people become more empathetic, informed, and thoughtful. Stronger relationships are built on the foundation of equality and respect. When women are treated as equals, they feel valued and appreciated for who they are, not just for how they fit into someone else's narrative. This sense of equality fosters trust and security, making it easier for both people to communicate openly and honestly. Relationships built on this kind of mutual respect are more resilient because they're rooted in authenticity. There's no need for one-sided compromises or performative niceness because both parties feel empowered to bring their true selves to the conversation. Respectful dialogue also has the power to break down stereotypes and preconceived notions. Too often, societal norms create barriers to understanding by encouraging people to view each other through the lens of outdated roles or expectations. By treating women as equals, you challenge those norms and create a new dynamic, one where both people are free to express themselves without fear of judgment or dismissal. This not only strengthens individual relationships, but also contributes to a broader culture of equality and respect. Ultimately, treating women as equals through respectful dialogue isn't just the right thing to do, it's also the most rewarding. It allows for deeper connections, richer conversations, and a stronger sense of partnership. When you approach interactions with the mindset that everyone has something valuable to offer, you create a space where growth, understanding, and meaningful relationships can flourish. This isn't just about words, it's about action, showing through every interaction that respect and equality are the foundation of true connection. It's time to step up. The world has enough empty gestures, enough shallow pleasantries, and enough performative niceness to last a lifetime. What we need now, what we all deserve, are meaningful actions and authentic connections. It's not enough to go through the motions, offering surface-level kindness that doesn't truly connect or contribute to anyone's life. If you want to make a difference, if you want to build real relationships, then it's time to replace the facade and with something real. Performative niceness might feel safe and easy, but it's a shortcut that leads nowhere. It's complimenting someone to avoid awkward silence, agreeing to something you don't believe in just to avoid conflict, or going along with the crowd because it's more comfortable than speaking your truth. These actions don't add value, they simply maintain the status quo. They keep conversations shallow, relationships stagnant, and opportunities for growth out of reach. It might feel like you're doing the right thing by being nice, but in reality, you're holding back both yourself and the people around you. Authenticity, on the other hand, is where real connection begins. It's showing up as your true self, speaking honestly and acting with integrity. Authenticity requires effort. It demands courage. It asks you to put aside the fear of discomfort and embrace the vulnerability of being real. But in doing so, it creates relationships that are deep, meaningful, and transformative. It fosters trust, respect, and understanding, which are the building blocks of any strong connection. People don't remember the times you were polite out of obligation. They remember the times you showed up for them in a way that mattered. Meaningful action is the next step. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic changes. It's about consistency, intention, and care. It's taking the time to listen instead of waiting for your turn to speak. It's asking questions because you're genuinely interested, not because it's polite. It's doing something kind without expecting recognition or reward. And it's being honest, not harshly, but thoughtfully, because you respect the other person enough to be real with them. These are the things that build trust, that show you care, and that create relationships worth having. Replacing performative niceness with meaningful actions and authentic connections starts with a simple shift in mindset. Stop thinking about what you should do to be liked and start asking yourself what you can do to make a real difference. Consider how your words and actions impact the people around you, and choose to engage in ways that are genuine and intentional. It's not about perfection, it's about effort. It's about showing up every day with the willingness to connect, to grow, and to build something real. So here's the challenge: be the person who makes people feel seen, heard, and valued. Be the one who chooses substance over appearance, truth over convenience, and care over comfort. The world doesn't need more people who are nice, it needs more people who are real. It needs you. Take the step, make it count. As we come to the end of this conversation, let's reflect on the heart of the message. The world doesn't need more niceness, it needs more authenticity, more respect, and more meaningful actions. Niceness, when it's hollow and performative, is like a smile with no soul, a gesture with no heart. It may keep the surface calm, but it does nothing to build real connections, foster growth, or create the kind of relationships that truly matter. What we're calling for is a shift, a commitment to something deeper, something truer. Think about the relationships in your life. Think about the people you interact with every day: friends, family, colleagues, and strangers. How many of those connections are built on genuine care and honesty? How many are rooted in mutual respect and real understanding? And how many are just surface level, built on polite words and easy gestures that don't leave a lasting impression? If we're being honest, many of us rely too much on the latter. We settle for niceness because it's easy, because it's comfortable, because it avoids the hard work of being real. But in doing so, we miss out on the richness that authentic relationships bring. Women, like all people, deserve more than that. They deserve to be treated as equals, to be held to standards of truth and accountability, and to be engaged with in ways that honor their intelligence, strength, and individuality. This isn't about avoiding conflict or making people feel good temporarily. It's about respect. It's about growth. It's about building something that lasts, whether it's in friendships, partnerships, or professional interactions. The goal should always be to create connections that are meaningful and transformative, not just polite and easy. Replacing performative niceness with real care and integrity requires courage. It means stepping out of your comfort zone and choosing honesty over convenience, accountability over passivity, and respect over superficiality. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. True relationships, true growth, and true impact come from the moments when we choose to be real, even when it's uncomfortable. They come from the times when we listen deeply, speak honestly, and act with purpose. When we hold each other accountable, we create opportunities for growth. When we engage in respectful dialogue, we foster understanding and empathy. When we treat each other as equals, we build relationships that are strong, authentic, and enduring. These are the values that elevate our interactions from the ordinary to the extraordinary. They are what make our connections meaningful and our lives richer. So as you walk away from this, I challenge you to take action. Be intentional in your words. Be honest in your interactions. Choose kindness that is rooted in care, respect that is grounded in equality, and actions that reflect authenticity. The world doesn't need more people who are simply nice. It needs people who are real, who are bold, and who are willing to put in the work to create genuine connections. Be that person. Start today. Let's stop the act. Let's drop the mask. And let's start being the kind of people who lift others up, not with shallow words, but with real actions. The world doesn't need more nice, it needs more truth. Let's give it that. Now go out there and mean what you say. Thank you.